Welcome back to another All Out NRL Fantasy Podcast, round 24.
Great to have you back, Tom and Dor, after a week off for you fellas.
Yeah, look, I'm coming back after a really stunning week socially for the All Out team. I have to say a big, huge thank you to MPH for really running up our
stunning performance.
Mate, I was got to get to that because it's one of the greatest individual performances since Steve Smith in the 2019 Ashes. He got 180,000 views on the TikTok.
A week ago,
Pretty
history was made.
I might have to retire from the podcast.
That's what the talk was. And I'll say this story because I don't know if I told Mick, but I'm not sure if I told you. As soon as we walked into the consort on the weekend, MPH got recognised, and someone asked for a photo as well. So if you're watching, mate, shout out to that guy. And send us a photo as well in the DMs.
His multi lost though, so he's not welcome back. Not welcome back ever.
That was the rule back in the day. Multi lost.
Surely we can forget about that multi.
Yeah.
What about we talk about the action over the weekend, round 24?
Shout out to Mackenzie as well, who was filling in.
Yeah.
So,
he did a good job as well. But yeah, I think it was just because Chip's face was on it the most. I think that's we'll give him the most credit.
Yeah, well done, MPH.
Yeah.
Boys, NRL results last week.
The Wars.
A few different results we got on here. Yeah, the Wars.
Got lucky.
20.
That send-off, really. They wouldn't have won the game if Whatever didn't get
I
sent off.
did declare that the Titans would win. I had a sneaky little feeling, and I'll be honest, that shouldn't have been a send-off, and I think the Titans could have won that.
Well, I think we'll touch on the high tackle controversy later, but
yeah.
the Wars get it done.
Panthers, again, very dominant over the
very
Storm,
dominant.
26-6. It really looks like that... Sorry, Mick. But it looks like that the Broncos and Panthers are sort of separating themselves from the other sides in the comp at the moment.
I think the Sharks might be back.
Yeah,
Big win against the
we
Rabbits.
can touch on as well.
Yeah, well, what are they placed now on the ladder? Have you got it up there? But
The Sharks are 6th.
Oh, okay. So they've rocketed back up.
That was a big win for their season, Cronulla. So yeah, good on them.
I gave my top 8 listing for the final round. I think it might be coming true. I forget what it was though.
But didn't you have the Rabbits in at 5th or something?
Yeah,
We'll
big run home, mate.
We'll touch on that later as well. And the Raiders just held on. A bit of controversy there as well, which we will touch on. A bit of some poor decisions over the weekend.
Yeah, and Flats called it as well. The Knights. Big win over the Dolphins.
Yeah.
They are the real deal.
I don't think they can win it, but I think they might go deep in the finals. We'll see.
How good's Ponga been? Seriously, like the last month, he's been incredible.
And Greg Marzhew.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't have his best performance on the weekend.
Actually, one of the best teams to watch in the comp when the Knights are clicking.
No, he's
So much
underrated.
talent.
Tyson Gamble.
Tyson
Everywhere
The gamble.
Every time he plays, he doesn't look that good, but I don't know, he just competes.
Yeah.
Something's working.
Something is working. Something else that is working is the Matildas, boys.
Yeah, outside the NRL.
A stunning victory last night, 2-0.
Mary Fowler.
Mary
is the
Fowler.
goat.
What a ball. That reminded me of prime KDB. That through ball was absolutely unbelievable.
Good thing about having a home World Cup as well is that like the less of the household names are actually like coming out and everyone knows them now. So like everyone knows Sam Kerrs, but all these other footballers that we might not know, everyone's actually starting to recognise and realise. And
Unless you're
good
a tragic like me who knows most of them already, but
so who do they play now, Dor? Do they play
Undecided.
undecided?
Yeah,
so it's
tonight
Morocco
we'll decide
and
it, I
so on,
think.
isn't it?
Yeah, that's
And
right.
France?
Flats is right. I'm pretty sure it's tonight. It's either France, I think, are the team that is most likely that we are going to face. But France, Morocco, 9:00 tonight is.
Is
who
it a
we
must?
verse.
Is it a must watch?
Well, yeah. If you want to see what the teams like that is versing the Tillies at Suncorp on Saturday at 5 p.m. Yeah, for sure. Tune in. It's been like the finals, like the whole finals of the World Cup's been great. Like USA got eliminated in the penalties.
Yeah, what controversy that was. By a bee's
speaking on
dick.
that, but speaking on that, geez, the US fans have really turned on their team. I've seen multiple things recently of Rapinoe just getting absolutely torched on the thing.
TikTok comments are a dark place of the web.
Across the other side of the world, boys, the Aussie Diamonds,
Yep,
got up.
Netball World Cup. Yeah,
That's
it was good.
their 12th World Cup victory.
Yeah,
I believe.
Yeah, it was a big win for them. I believe that they lost to England in the group stages, but then they were obviously just absolutely. I think it was the second highest win in history for the Diamonds in the World Cup. I think it was 16 goals or something like that. So it was an absolute thrashing. Shout out to those England fans. You've lost again.
No, I don't think they've lost. And we also got here down Mitchy Marsh and Labuschagne. The news out of the Australian cricket team.
Did you boys expect Mitchy Marsh to get the captaincy? I didn't think he would have been.
He's obviously a locker room guy. He gets picked in like every squad. Obviously he's skilled, but he's just great to have around the boys.
Yeah.
So I've heard, but I didn't really see him as a captain, but
yeah,
I guess. Was he the obvious choice?
I don't think that's really a standout choice, to be honest.
Head?
Travis, it could be a logical pick, sort of leading into a test arena. Why don't you just give it back to Smith if he's going to play? Just give it to him.
Do you see Smith playing the T20s?
Yeah, apparently
he's going to open.
Yeah, apparently he's opening. Yeah, apparently Cummins as well. I think broke his wrist or something in the last Test match. I
did hear that news, but I think he's fine for.
I think he's going to miss a bit of the tour. Yeah.
Did Marsh captain the Scorchers last year?
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah, but he obviously his luck with injuries been pretty poor, so that hasn't helped him in terms of like playing that many games.
Yeah.
And then finally to end off this segment, come on, you Gunners! What a lovely win. We've taken down.
We're really
City.
talking about every sport here, aren't we?
In the preseason, mate.
Mate, it's
If you can't win it in the actual season,
mate,
may as well take the preseason.
It's silverware and a big signing in the off season. Declan Rice, Flatty's Declan Rice.
Why? Declan Rice.
Gunners are overrated.
No.
Dua Lipa doesn't even
Up
go
the
for
hammers.
them.
No, she does.
Prove it.
Anyway.
Big news out back to the NRL, boys, because big news confirmed, was it today, Dor, that the Broncos are confirmed for Vegas, which is bad for the faithful, but great for the competition.
Yeah, I think there's 4 teams that are going over to Vegas next year to kick off the season. I'm actually, if I've got leave, I'm actually considering going.
Oh wow!
Is that a bomb?
Is that a Dor bomb?
All our travels.
All our travels back. Probably go and see a Lakers game as well. But yeah, no, I think it's going to be Broncos. I'm not sure about the other teams, but I'm pretty sure that Manly and Rabbits, I think, are also pretty sure to actually get a spot as well, because they've got Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman over there in US who can do a lot of promotional stuff for them.
Special humans.
So yeah, I think there's just the last team. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, pretty big.
What I really hope is that the Americans like what they like, and I really hope they get around it. Like we had the cricket. Remember that All-Stars game for the cricket went over there, and like you can just see in the crowd that the Indian population just went to the game. So like I'm not really sure what they're trying to get at. Like if they're going to push the Americans to actually go, but
there was previously a cricket game. I think it was in a baseball stadium in America, and the entire crowd was Indian.
Yeah,
so it wasn't really an American.
In that MSL competition, as
the
well.
other, the T20. Yeah.
Obviously, it's a great ploy from the NRL to get what is like the largest demographic of sporting watchers over there. But
I personally think it will be different to cricket. I think that there's been obviously a bit of exposure from the NRL over in America. But I think just because the contact, like a contact sport, like with NFL and everything like that, now I think that like the NRL going over there, like no pads, no helmets, I think
it's the most physical sport in the world. Like I think Blake Austin's previously said this in a podcast. I've said it before. If there's like a blank slate, everyone's memory was wiped. What sport would be the most popular in the world? I think it's either between football still, rugby league, and maybe like basketball.
Yeah. I think
if you're looking for like a physical sport, rugby league's the best in the world.
Yeah. I think it's like you just look at, they'll advertise and promote it well, like the best players in the game. Like just look at, for example, like Messi being at Inter Miami like the last couple of weeks. Like every game sold out, memberships going crazy. Like I think that it's overrated, but he scored a clutch.
Name him.
No, Ronaldo. I have Ronaldo over Messi, but obviously I don't think we all agree on that. But no, I think we move on to Payne Haas boys. I think it was rumored. I think it was late last week that they were saying that that he was going to accept with the Broncos for a further, I think 3 seasons. I think it was. But then last night, then came out. It's been a bloody merry-go-round. Then they came out, Buzz said he spoke to the manager, and then it was looking like that he wasn't going to be, extending. He was going to go to market at the end of the year. And then now these managers come out again this morning and said that nothing's been decided. No, we haven't chosen a path yet. So, obviously both are still in play. He could be going to market at the end of the year, and Dogs, I think, and Storm are looking at him.
He wants to go to a club rich with history, and that club is the Red V. We'll give him $600K. I think he'll take unders just to play in the red and white.
A bold take, but no, I think
the situation's quite literally got to a boiling point, and we were arguing sort of off podcast about if he's even worth $1 million, and with the 37% increase in the salary cap and all the things, he probably is, isn't he? $1 million.
Yeah, I think with what you said about the salary cap increase, he's obviously the best forward in the game. Would anyone disagree? Harry Grant, him.
Yeah.
I think he's the best. I think at the end. Well,
How
I hate it.
impactful is he though?
No, see, that's the thing. That's my reasoning behind the money. Yes, he's the best forward in the game, but he's not. He's not a half or a fullback or someone that's going to really win you the game. He's the person that goes in there and just puts you on the front foot, makes all the meters, does the offloads.
Your 7 and fullback win your games.
Yeah. So I think I'd probably, as Cord and Mick just touched on with the 37% increase, I think he's probably worth $1 million, but anything more than that, I think is starting to push it.
What do you think, Flats?
He's definitely worth $1 million. He's easily been the best forward in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
And yes, he does win your games.
He doesn't win them for New South Wales.
That's because they're dog water.
We'll fly through the rest of these seggies. Corey Horsbredor contract update for him. Big news for him.
Just extended Big Horsburgh, I think.
All that bomb.
Yeah, just extended. I think it was $2.3 million, I think. So,
and there was
good on Big Red.
During the week, obviously, it was a round of high tackles, suspensions, and send-offs. And we posted, how the hell did Luai not get suspended at all from that hit on Nelson? Do we think he was worth not suspending?
I don't want to use the phrase protected species, but it's coming to mind.
You reckon?
I have heard of it.
It's just there's a trend with Penrith players getting off with these type of things. I'm not singling out Luai, but it seems to... You saw, especially with that Fodawaker hit, that was nowhere near as bad.
No.
And he got sent off, which ruined my bet, by the way.
I think it's just the consistency. Luai's hit was still contact to the head, while I just feel we're looking the players and officials and everything like that, and the match review committee are looking too much into the actual impact on the actual player. So with Fodawaker's case, CNK was knocked out and didn't come back. And then you look at Nathan Brown's one, and then Luai's one, where Luai's one wasn't even cited in the actual.
I think Nathan Brown's one was bad.
Yeah,
I thought the Brown one. He rushed out of line. It was straight contact. So
that was more so even this Fodawaker, CNK dropped down a bit.
it's
with
just
the Nathan Brown one, he literally ran up and didn't even try.
Didn't Nathan Brown only get 10 in the bin?
Yeah, Nathan.
He also got the worst.
Nathan Brown got
off.
sent off. Nathan Brown and Fodawaker both got sent off.
Yeah.
So
interesting
Who
one
was
there,
on Thursday
boys.
night? Who got sent off on Thursday night?
What game was that?
That was Roosters. Yeah, that was Nathan Brown.
Yeah.
And then also Ryan Hinchcliffe got sent off as well. He was running the waters or whatever, and the ref told him to get off.
Oh, yeah.
And he had to put it in reverse and run straight off.
A few funny
the field.
clips of Paul Tuvey. What's his name? Former Manly coach.
Oh, Jeff Tuvey. Yeah, got to be an investigation. Got to be an investigation. I think before we touch on Flats' hot take of the week, the last thing the top 8, Mick.
Stop looking at the camera.
The top 8. What are we thinking? Are the Sharks back?
I think the Sharks
Can they
are
hold
back.
on? Can they hold on? I think is the big thing.
I think they can just hold on. I don't think the Eels or Cows make it. I think the top 8 right now is basically what it's going to be. Maybe slightly
Sharks,
rotated
Eels,
a bit.
Knights
Sharks,
top 4. Bomb. Book it.
What was that? Who's top 4 flat?
The Knights.
Knights, yeah. They've been playing really well late. They do lose Bradman
The
Best.
Sharks do have an interesting run home. They have the Titans, who's probably out of the top 8 now, but then they have the Cowboys, who's fighting for a spot, the Knights fighting for a spot, and then they have the Raiders, so not an easy run home.
Raiders are pretenders.
That
I think that's well known, though.
That Sharks Cowboys game, I think, is going to be massive because I think it's going to, like, Cowboys got the bye this week, so the free 2 points. And then I think it's going to come down to that. So if the Cowboys lose against Cronulla, they're gone.
Look, if I was a Cowboys fan and I happened to have a bit of money on them to make the top 8, looking now, I think it was a smart decision to
Cash out.
cash out.
Yeah,
Cash out, leave it
So
there.
if you're listening, that one particular fan, well done.
All right, Flats.
Yeah, Flats, we missed you last week, mate, and MPH took over for what was a good take, and then it was a bad take, sort of.
Well, he
was his
said
take?
James Tedesco was dropped to reserve grade.
Yeah. But you're back this week, mate. Who are you going to upset this week? What's your take?
Look, after the Wallabies versus All Blacks game, I've just discovered one of the biggest takes, hottest, biggest takes I've ever seen.
Discovered.
Yeah, well, after their terrible win, they only beat the Wallabies by 3 points in Dunedin.
It is a
So,
good point. We have been very poor.
Here we go. This is the take. The All Blacks won't win the World Cup.
Give us some reasons why,
Yeah,
mate.
give us some reasons.
Well, of course I will. Firstly, their kicking game is not up to standard to the Irish and the French, so they won't compete in that game. Also, they're not consistent enough to beat the Irish and the French in the World Cup. So, therefore, I see them bowing out in the semis, quarters even. We'll see.
To the Irish.
But
What about Romania?
Romania.
They might snag a win.
So that's the hot take of the week, mate. Seems a bit of
how do
a
you think-
similar trend with these hot takes.
How do you think the Wallabies will go? What's your hot take about the Wallabies?
They showed improvement on the weekend, so it's not even a hot take. I know they're going to go well in the World Cup. Eddie Jones is the GOAT.
9-10 combo, like it?
No. Quade Cooper, put him at 10.
Fair.
Then, our 9, Nick White, he's got to be starting, so we're going to have Tate off the bench. Then, I don't know where we go from there. Our captain's gone. So who captained us last week?
Tate.
There's our
Take
problem.
captain off the bench.
There's our problem.
Anyway, well done,
Back.
Flats. Good to have you back for that.
Yes,
for
special
that,
Flats.
for that take.
Should I touch on the how we went last week, Cord?
Yeah, may as well. We missed that at the
Yeah,
start.
yeah, no, that's all right, mate.
Felt this is a fantasy podcast.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll finish strong here with some lovely fantasy content. Boys, what a fucking week last week for the all-out team.
Bang.
We are that was our best. I think there was a lot of high scoring rounds last week, but
I'm pretty sure everyone in our league got over 1,000.
yeah,
But Clancy.
yeah, that's quite embarrassing from Clancy. But anyway, 1,000. We got, I think 1,000. Yeah, 1,126 points last week, boys, and we are now back. We're in the top 2,000, 1,947th overall. So that's really good from
We're
us.
special.
I feel like it's a bit different to how we went last year. I feel like we're coming home strong this year. Where last year I think we started to fade a little bit at the back end. So it's a bit of a role reversal. We're really finishing strong. I think, like I was telling Mick and I think Corden Flat the other week that I think, like, looking at our team, I was just like, wow, like
Our team's better than our ranking.
Yeah.
You know who turned our season around? Scotty Drinkwater.
Yeah, the H2O. He was special. He was very special.
Can't just
Shout out
quietly
to the toe.
Can't just quickly read out Clancy Nugent's fantasy team.
Yeah,
This
go
is,
for
this
it.
is one of
Is
the
this-
more humorous teams I've ever
Is
heard.
this the worst team or the most humorous team? Let us know.
He's got Drew Hutchison, Matt Lodge, Aaron Woods, Sean Lane, Josh Reynolds, Luke Brooks, Moses Mbai, Charlie Staines, Jaden Hockenball, Tyson Gamble, Mark Nichols, Morgan Harper, Jake Turpin, and Will Warbrick. He's probably his best player.
The Brick of
That's
War. Is he even still playing?
Great side.
Yeah.
Is he
Brick
the
of War's
team?
still playing.
Yeah, mate. His post-try celebrations are incredible.
I think to quickly just touch on tipping as well. We got 7 tips right last week. Cronulla was the only one we got wrong. We had the
wrong.
Rabbits.
We.
So
Yeah.
me, whatever. Mick, should we go into team list?
Yeah, sure.
If you, I can start us
Exciting
off.
part
if-
of the potty.
I can start us off if you want for the Thursday night game with Manly versus Panthers. Look, the Kepi's back. He missed out last week. And unfortunately, one of those names that you just mentioned, Mick, Matt Lodge for Manly, unfortunately suffered a season-ending ACL injury. Big Benny Turbo is into the starting side with Kelmer being moved back to the bench. Interesting move there.
Benny Turbo has the athleticism of Jake Travojevic and the build of Tommy Turbo.
Yeah.
He's tough though.
Look, this has been horrible, but Panthers, Targo is still out.
Top
and
ball.
if you're like me, unfortunately, I ended up getting him a couple of weeks ago and then didn't reverse the trade. So I've just been sitting 700K on my bench for the last 3 weeks or whatever.
Right. How about
So-
the hands from Zachy Hoskins?
Yeah, big
He's a
Zachy
special
Hoskins
player.
in the centres. And good on him. He's a favourite of the podcast. Mick, do you want to?
Yeah, I'll
take
go
over
on to
from
the
here?
Sharks-Titans game. Ronaldo returns on the wing with Hiroti dropping out. And Jesse, I'm not going to say his last name, returns to the bench. He was a cheapie a couple of weeks, so you probably know
Take
of
it
him.
easy.
No, big.
Colt
Tatis.
Kuhan.
Yeah.
For the Titans, Tino finally returns from suspension straight into the starting side. Mo Fodawaker drops out due to that suspension. And Chris Randall starts at hooker with Verrills being ruled out for the rest of the season. Could be a cheeky buy.
And Brimson's still out as well.
Yes, so Jaden Campbell is at fullback.
Did we see
Yeah.
that article about AJ Brimson?
Playing at centre.
They want him. Who was it? Desi wants to
Yeah.
play him at centre next year.
What are our thoughts
Bad
on
call.
that?
I rate Brimson very highly.
He's not a centre.
He can't get into a consistent run of form due to injuries.
Is he better than Campbell?
Nah.
No, but
Campbell's a beast.
So-
I feel like you got to play AJ in the spine.
So my question,
Somewhere.
Yeah.
question is Brimson better leaving? Is he better going to
Yeah.
another club
I
to
think
play
there's a-
fullback?
Eels.
there's a team.
Dragons?
There's a team in Sydney that I think would suit him. They have red and white colours.
Yeah.
They won 10 in a row.
I'm sure he'd love to go there.
Yeah.
And
Anyway.
then, Mick, a quick thing to also touch on. I know you're an owner of Aaron Clark. He's held his spot at lock, and Tino's been named at prop. So he's been
I think Aaron Clark's one of the more underrated players in the comp.
he's been going
Is that
really
a
well.
hot take?
That's a very hot take.
Yeah, very hot.
I think
take.
he's really good. He's a bit of
Starting to get a bit warm in
slightly
here.
a grub, but everyone needs that in their team. Fantasy-wise, he's definitely underrated.
Yeah, he's been going well.
He'll win me the comp.
But
My
I think-
fourth chip.
I think it was something to I personally, I think you and I had this discussion about, we thought that Aaron Clark was going to obviously go back to the bench when Tino came back, but I think because of his form, he's actually moved Tino into prop.
Yeah.
So do you want me to go? I'll do the next one. We'll go 1 for 1 here.
Yeah, let's not even bother with this team.
Yeah, Broncos versus Eels. We are back. Reynolds is also back. Kobe Hetherington as well. Jordan the Rizzler Ricky is back as well. Back in the starting 17 after missing a few weeks. Willison and Corey Jensen drop out of the squad. Unfortunately, I think quick thing to touch on, Pierre Cora back to the bench. So
It's deluded.
Brendan
Deluded
Cora.
from them.
Brendan, yeah, Pierre Cora.
Pierre Cora
Brendan
is
Pierre-Cora.
Yeah,
the best edge player you have.
he's been really good lately, Pierre Cora. I think that it's a bit tough, but yeah, Ricky was really good for us at the start of the season, or the first 3 quarters of it. So.
I think it's smart to stick with Kurt and Ricky though, just because you were so good with them.
Yeah, I think that in a few years or whatever, I think it will be Pierre.
It's gotta be
Cora
next year,
and-
sure.
Yeah,
I think if
Pierre
Ricky
Cora
didn't-
and
We've waited too long
Ricky-
for this bloke.
Pierre Cora and Ricky will be, I think, the second.
He's
row
on
as well.
Ricky didn't
500K
get
a
injured.
year.
He's getting most improved. I reckon.
Most improved.
Ricky,
Jesus,
yeah.
that's a
He's a
That's a
elite.
horrible take.
that is a
He's
big
elite.
take.
Leave.
Sean Johnson.
Most improved.
Most, yeah, well, he was that.
Call it
that-
shittest take of the week.
No. Ricky was elite, boys.
You
At the
don't-
start of the
Ricky
year.
You don't
was-
think
Ricky
Sean
was
Johnson
good.
was about to get dropped? He was about to retire, and now he's
Yeah.
about to do in Dalian.
Yeah, I get that, but like if we're talking like someone who's like completely
Enough.
just out. Ricky's been elite, man.
This is
Get
going
up
to be a
stats.
clip.
Keep
and you're
going.
going to get
Get
Yeah,
up
let's go. Eels. RC is back in the team at the centres with Simonson moving to the wing. Last week's debutant Arthur Miller-Steven drops out. Brendan Hands is back. So I assume if you've still got Hands in your side, be getting him out because with that 40 break even, and he's probably only going to play like 10, 20 minutes, no point. And then Makatoa is 18th man. I guess something else to note is Andrew Davey is starting with Madison back to the bench. God, that's frustrating. I don't like on what planet does Andrew Davey start over Ryan Madison?
This
I
planet,
don't
bro.
get it. I don't get it. Maddo was the best player. I thought Maddo was the best player on the field for the Eels. See his Boulder Junior Barlow.
Junior Barlow. Yeah, I just think I
Junior
don't know
Barlow.
what I'm sure you're pretty strong on this Flats, but I think Brad Arthur's definitely lost it with Davey starting over Maddo.
I can't believe he still coaches for the Eels.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hot take.
Vic, do you want to go to the game on Saturday Arvo up in Cairns, Barlow Park?
Yes, is this the Rabbits?
Yeah, and you're Red V.
Yes, Rabbits Red V. Nothing much really for the Rabbits. Jai Arrow's back at prop. And
Burgess is out. I don't
Burgess
think he
out.
plays another game this
Host
year.
on the
3
edge,
weeks.
but that's about really it. For the Dragons, Sully returns, and Zach Lomax has been ruled out, who has been a lovely run in form.
Yeah,
might I
he's been
add.
great. I think ever since the Flanagan signing as coach, and I think him having a chat to Zach and telling him what he wants to do, and I think he's been really good since then.
I think Lomax might, depending on how Sloan goes early in the season next year, I think Lomax might be our fullback.
They have touched.
I think
on
that's what every Dragons fan has said for the past 5 years.
that. Yeah. So
You're
Flanagan,
absolutely right. I
yeah.
agree.
So Flanagan actually might be the first coach to actually put that into place.
Yeah.
Flats.
Good.
Jackie Bird shoulder injury, Mick.
Ben Maddox-Masula is named at lock. That is one of the more athletic locks I've ever seen in my life. Great ball player.
Special.
And yeah,
Big-
Jack Bird.
Yeah.
What's new?
He's in a bit of. He was started the season so well, and then it's just been.
I really rate him.
yeah,
He's
he's,
just
a good player. It's just like he's like the injuries have just come straight back into play again.
yeah. Next game is Tigers Waz.
Yes, in Hamilton.
Sean Blaw returns from concussion with Uto.
Manu.
12 on the bench. And that's about it. Asu Kapoa starts at centre for the
What about-
Waz.
What about the Forbes Ferrari doing his hammy?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what a stunning return it was from Staines last week. Seriously special.
Fuck.
The funniest thing is I find
What did
about
he say?
Staines
Poor guy.
is like they say he's so quick, but I swear he's not that quick.
Brother, we know what our aforementioned comments about Staines have been well documented on
let's
this.
keep going.
Yep,
Keep going.
sorry.
Keep going.
C&K sidelined at least a week with Tiane Tuapiku. Sorry,
Tuapiki.
I've cooked that pronunciation.
That's
Is
all
number one. Next game is Roosters Dolphins. Dylan Napa, first appearance in the NRL since 2021.
Yeah,
Big puppy.
big puppy.
Call me Big Puppy.
Dylan Napa, he's
Egan
back.
Butcher remains out, so Wong remains in the back row for the Dolphins. Ray Stone
Buddy's
comes
man.
back. Next game is Storm Raiders.
Sunday
Drab Hughes returns.
and Xavier
Coates is also back. Remus Smith could be a late addition.
Oh no, Wishard's been dropped.
Just quickly, how do we think with Ryan Pappenhausen making his return
What a
on
return.
the weekend? Do you think they bring it back sooner rather than later, or just wait until next year? Just give him as much time as
Oh,
possible.
I wouldn't
No,
go
I'd-
that far.
I'd put him in.
Put him
I-
at
Put him in
14.
as in like I'm saying, are you putting him in a couple of rounds before the finals, or
Yeah.
you just
Yeah.
give him in first finals game?
Nah, yeah, put him in a couple of rounds finals. But where do you
Round
put him though?
24.
On the bench.
No, round 24. Yeah, he's
the
definitely
number 14.
Yeah, exactly
Nick
what
Manny's
Flats
been good.
said. Flats is.
That's
Nick
why he's number
Meaney's
14.
he's played to the best of his ability.
He's done his role.
They're capped. This is with respect to Nick Meaney, but they're capped with Meaney at fullback. Like they're not going to win the comp with him at fullback, even though I rate him. But with Pappenhausen, he's just that flair. That's the best spine in the league by a mile.
What is it? That flair.
Yeah, I think
Lunar
he
flair.
definitely starts 14 and then works his way back in. Potentially, maybe like the last game of the season, him coming into the starting side. But I think next week he'll be back. He'll probably try to play 80, I reckon, this week for Sunny Coast. He looked really.
Where are
good.
they playing? Norths.
They versed, I think, Ipswich last week.
They're playing this week at the Devils. I think.
Devils, there you go. You're all over it, Flats. Last game, Mick, Knights, Dogs. I'll finish it off for you, bro.
No, whoa. Seb Chris ruled out for the rest of the season, so
What a shame.
Ethan Doctor Strange makes his debut in the centres. Next game is Knights Doggies. Best is going to not be picked due to injury.
Yeah. Doctor
Um,
injury.
that's about it, really. For the Doggies,
Lukey Thompson.
Lucy
playing his
Thompson
first
finally back. Harrison Edwards drops the reserves. Thank you for listening to the TLT.
game. Special.
And we got some buy, hold, sells here. That door's done up. I think the main one here is buy SJ.
Yes. SJ is.
Is that a hot
Especially
take?
if we don't have him like us.
Yeah, we might have to do something about that. Just because Moses really hasn't been performing of late. He also misses the last game.
Yeah.
For as we're like the all-out team we play for overall, obviously. So
By Tino?
Tino, Carraz as
Tino,
well.
Carraz.
Do the Panthers rest their players in grand final week?
That's a good
Round
question.
20
is it round
That's a
27?
really good question.
I think they would, because they seriously just don't care about the minor premiership, I doubt.
I don't think they will, because I think that they've like potentially maybe Cleary might have a rest, but I think like a lot of them have already had a lot of rest already. Like you think about it,
That's
they've
fair.
won 3 games, I think 3 or 4 games this year, and they've rested like all their origin, like all their star players,
Yeah, they got
and
Cows in the last round.
still won.
That almost gives them more reason just to do it anyway.
I think they'll, if it's still like neck to neck with the Broncos for the minor premiership, I think they're going to go for it. Every club
Yeah.
wants to win the minor premiership.
No,
I think
yeah,
there's
I
a
agree.
financial
And also, you want to
benefit as
verse
well.
whoever's fourth, because I assume the Wires are going to come third. I would not want to verse the Wires
No.
No.
probably wouldn't.
first round.
So you've also got Bateman here as a hold. Drinky's got the bye this week for a hold, and hold Herbie Farnworth for now, but I'm pretty sure the Bronx have a bye coming up.
Yeah, I think the only real sell is Broncos got to buy next week. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, next week. I think it's Broncos, next
Broncos.
week, Rabbitohs in 26, and then Eels to
27.
So yeah, that's why I think we got to get in Johnson, because I think our rank would have been and our score would have been so much better if we had Johnson.
And do we have any Q&A questions to round out the pod door? Or
Yes, yeah. Only got the one, so we'll only just touch on it briefly, I guess. We'll have to go in depth, real analysis here, boys. It's a very simple question. Who should I play? Nelson or Dylan Edwards? Now, Dylan Edwards, he's
He's fell
just
off a
turned
cliff.
to fantasy wise been
He's just
very
turned mud.
poor, very poor.
Turn of mud.
I would play Deadwoods.
I play Nelson.
I'd play Nelson as well.
Well, you two are wrong.
Well, I don't think there's really a right take. I will have to wait till the end of the week when the games are played, and we'll see who goes better.
How did Nelson go on the weekend?
I think he went all right. He obviously came off the bench on the
25.
first game back. Well, Edwards
Yeah, I played.
Edwards wasn't much better, and
Yeah.
he played 80 minutes in a
Great
side
area.
that won 26-6. 19 Edwards got in 80 minutes. So I just know that we've had. You've probably seen them as well, Mick. Like a lot of DMs about what's the go with Edwards, what's happening.
He's just not getting his attacking stats.
Yeah, he's
So,
and like he plays with obviously the Panthers are attacking beast, and they have Cleary. Like that's just going to take points off him. So, but yeah,
what about before we finish the pod, boys? What do we got? Let's scope into our. So I'm versing Bents this week in our head-to-head final.
I'm not
thrilling,
versing anyone because I won.
thrilling
Yeah, neither
contest
am
this
I.
week. And Cord, you're versing in the in the minor finals, taking on Big Hunter.
Yep.
And Flats, you got Campbell Bentley. Get the job done, boys.
I thought I was
Man-
kicked out.
Imagine being in a fantasy podcast and not making the top 8.
We've all been there at this point.
Yes, yeah, we have.
Yeah.
Oh well,
I've been there twice.
Yeah. Lovely. All right, that's us done for this week.
Whoa. Here's a hot take. Next year, the New South Wales Blues should...
That's a belter.
Right. Hot take. Next year, the New South Wales Blues should pick Cleary as...
Cleary as?
Cleary as their hooker.
Cleary as their hooker. Oh, geez, that's diabolical.
Moses and Cody Walker as the halves pairing. Cleary as hooker.
So you just
Latrell at fullback.
so just trying to copy Queensland pretty much.
No.
Ben Hunt.
No, but Cleary's like... Everyone suggests Cleary should just be the set half for the next
And on
10
that
years.
Yeah, but like you're pretty much doing what the Queensland doing, putting a
No,
half
but
back.
they shouldn't have a...
Hooker.
Yeah, but I'm saying they shouldn't have a hooker on the bench either. It should just be...
All right, on that absolute bombshell, that's us done for this week. See you next week.